What a Saturday we saw out of Ricky Fowler. Here he is staring down a birdie putt on the par 4 16th. Fowler taking advantage of the green mile, a 4-under par 68. He is your 54-hole leader at the Wells Fargo Golf Central. Next.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Hey there, thanks for joining us on Golf Central. I'm George Savaricas with Aaron Oberholzer, a winner on the PGA Tour, and a lot of movement we saw on Saturday during the third round of the Wells Fargo Championship.
So exciting. I love this golf course. This golf course provides so many exciting things, and today we saw a lot of that, a lot of excitement on the leaderboard, lots of movement on the leaderboard, and man, let's just get to the highlights because they were awesome.
Getting into the day, you thought a guy who's won this event twice in Rory McIlroy, the defending champion, would make a big move. This is one of his few highlights on the 17th.
One of the very few. Coming off of obviously back-to-back bogeys yesterday on 17 and 18. He needed a good start today. He didn't get it. But this is one of those highlights from 79 feet, the longest putt of his PGA Tour career.
Why not?
Are you kidding me?
Rory, though, would shoot a 1 over 73, so he's at 1 under, 8 back of your leader going into Sunday. Phil Mickelson on the 16th.
Well, this is one of the guys who had kind of a helter-skelter day. Phil here at 16 after coming off of a birdie on 15, and he's going to visit the lake pond. I think we'll call it a lake. It's big enough. You can ski in it. There on the left of 16, and that would lead to a bogey.
Very unforced error out of Phil Mickelson. Justin Rose on 13.
This is your danger, man. Danger, danger tomorrow. Watch for this guy. He has won on some big tracks, tough ball striking tracks, including Merion, the U.S. Open in 2013, and right here, that thing gets hot, look out.
Big fire is 69. He's at 7 under, 2 back of this man, Ricky Fowler, par 5, 10th is third.
Well, this is somewhere down by 11 tee box as he flared a 5-wood out there over there. And I'm telling you what, George, that is so difficult. The greens are rolling like they're like glass, basically. I mean, you can hardly stop a ball on them. That was a phenomenal pitch shot from down there.
So Ricky would make birdie to get to 8 under. Now he's on the 14th.
And now, let me tell you, this is something special, something to behold right here, 14. Wind coming across from the left, so you've got to kind of hold it in there. You got water left, you got bunkers right. You got to be absolutely perfect, otherwise that can take the slope just as easily down into the lake. Look at how close it was. Beautiful shot.
First player to drive the 14th this week, 2-putted for birdie. He had given a couple back, so that got him to 7 under for the tournament for Eagle on 15.
Yeah, 2 good shots here on 15. Sets up this nice little Eagle try. And listen, you're taking all the easy birdies you can on this golf course. This golf course was playing so difficult today.
So Fowler would make birdie, get to 8 under. Roberto Castro, he hit himself a solid round on the 12th.
Well, and this was one big par save for Roberto Castro as he had to pitch out, hit a wedge to there. That was the part of his game that's really been bugging him this year, the putting.
So this for birdie in the lead on 13.
Well, and right now the putting is starting to really happen for him. 5th in strokes gained putting this week, 195th on the year.
Good little back and forth, a few holes apart. Castro at 9 under, Fowler trying to get to 9 under on 16.
Well, unlikely, kind of hung an 8-iron out there when he after hitting a great drive. What the heck. I'm going to drive it, I'm going to putt it, and everybody else is going to be in trouble.
So thanks to our crew hustling out there to get the conclusion of Roberto Castro's third round, his bunker shot on the 18th.
Pretty solid shot right there. Really hard to get that to stop. That pin is located basically on a volcano.
So Castro to try and be a 54-hole co-leader. Wanted it.
It's one of the few he missed today. Another good effort, though, for Roberto. Didn't quite strike the ball the way he's used to striking it. Putter came alive today for him a little bit, and he's going to have a shot tomorrow.
So fairly steady overall, 1 under 71 has Roberto Castro a shot back at 8 under par for the tournament. James Hahn, a 4 under 68, tied with Ricky Fowler as one of the big movers on the day. He is 2 back of Fowler, and with more from Charlotte, North Carolina, Todd Lewis spoke with the leader.
Thanks, guys. Interesting conversation between Ricky and I prior to your round. You said you wanted to be committed to being comfortable with your golf swing. How would you describe your comfort level out there with your swing today?
It was pretty good. Only the 2 bogeys that I made were just missed putts from up and downs. So definitely pleased with the round. I had a good little warm-up session. Was able to worked the ball both ways and hit some fun shots in the range, so that kind of loosened me up going into the round. Made a great swing off one and kind of got going from there.
If you look back on this round, what certain aspect of your game are you most proud of?
Probably the way I drove it today. A lot of fairways, and if I did miss the fairway, it was on the proper side. I didn't put myself in a lot of bad positions. Yeah, it was a good solid round of golf. Like I said, just missed a couple short ones for par, and made some good ones for birdies. 68 was a good round out there today.
Not only you know what it takes to win around here, and tomorrow that opportunity is in front of you again, what mentally, strategically, mechanically do you have to have right to succeed again tomorrow?
We'll definitely stay patient like we talked about this morning, and the commitment to the golf swing. Get off to a solid start, and the golf tournament's going to be starting on the back nine. I just need to get off, play a solid front nine, and yeah, it'll all begin once we make the turn.
So it's been a minute since we've seen Ricky Fowler in this position on the PGA Tour, having a 54-hole lead or co-lead. As we take a look at the 2011 Quicken Loans, the last such instance, Fowler would finish outside the top 10, and remember 2010 at Memorial, had a 3-shot lead, wound up finishing in second place. So, Aaron, Ricky Fowler has 5 wins on the PGA Tour, European Tour combined, 3 on the PGA Tour. We haven't seen him, though, have the bullseye of holding a lead on the PGA Tour and then closing it out on Sunday. Is that the next step for his maturation as a player, to be able to ascend to that?
Most definitely, George. I believe that is for sure. I think for most players, when you can hold a 54-hole lead, and it's not just about holding a 54-hole lead, but it's about where you hold that 54-hole lead and how you get it done. And tomorrow will go a long way for Ricky Fowler into maturing into the great player that I know he can be, and I believe he will be in the future if he can get this done with a 1-shot lead on a golf course that is playing so difficult and so hard. It's going to take all of his ball striking prowess, especially when you look at the guy who's chasing him, and the one guy he's got to be aware of back there who can run him down without a doubt is Justin Rose, who is well adept at handling these kinds of conditions.
And we're going to hear from Justin Rose later on Golf Central. Specifically to today, what stood out to you from Fowler?
You know, for me, for Ricky, it all started back a year ago. Very similarly to today, when he came down the final stretch at Players, and we're going to take a look at this here. This is 18 in regulation, the 2015 Players. He needs to make a birdie here, George, and what does he do on probably one of the most difficult driving holes on the planet? He absolutely splits the fairway in two, hits the wedge on, and makes his birdie to get into to force the playoff. Now we go to today. He's coming off a bogey on 13, and he gets up there on 14. He says, you know, the heck with it. I'm just going to go ahead and take driver. I'm going to take the bull by the horns. All the maturation that him and Butch Harmon have done with his golf swing over the last few years, it's really starting to pay dividends. It's starting to come to fruition. He's starting to trust it more and more as he's coming down the stretch in clutch situation. That was on 14. Now on 15. You know, you've got to make a move here. You've got to play the par 5s well, because the rest of the golf course is really not that gettable. Ricky comes up, pipes another one, 303 yards down the middle. 14, he was the only guy to hold that green, to drive the green and hold the green on 14. Then on 16, he gets up there on 16, and why not? Water left. If he gets this turning over just a little bit too much, that's it. It's going to find the lake. He hits a little hold-off fade. That bunker's about, 315, 20 yards to carry. What bunker? This is what he's been able to do since we saw him progress from where he was at the Players' Championship last year and what he did in that playoff. You saw the wins come down the stretch late in the year. You saw what he did at Abu Dhabi, which by and large, which is the only 54-hole lead that he has converted as a professional on the European Tour. So Ricky's got a lot to show people tomorrow. There's no doubt that he can hold the 54-hole lead, but with ball striking like this and the way he's hitting the golf ball this week off the tee and into the greens, he's got as good a chance as anybody, or just as good a chance, if not better, than Justin Rose to get this done. And that's the guy that he's got to be watching out for sure, like I said before.
And it seems like he's been making all the big putts so far this week, reminiscent of what we saw at least that Sunday at the Players.
Ultimately, you have to make the putts, but this is a ball striker's golf course, and he's got to get it done there first to have any kind of chance.
Well, the guy who was closest in the field to catching Ricky Fowler going into the final round, Roberto Castro, carding that 71. So he's at 8 under for the tournament, just a shot back. After his third round, he spoke with Todd Lewis.
Thank you. And Roberto will be in that final group tomorrow with Ricky Fowler. As you look back on your day today, what is your biggest takeaway?
Really just making a couple nice putts in the middle of the round to keep the momentum going. That was, what I was most proud of. Got it up and down with a wedge on 12 and then birdied 13 with a couple good putts. So if I can keep that kind of confident stroke and keep rolling it tomorrow, I think it'll be a good day.
Being in the final group today, how much did that prepare you for being in the final group on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different deal, but it's very similar. I mean, you got to be prepared to play that golf course more than anything. It's a big test, especially at the end of the day when the greens are starting to cook a little bit. So that's really where my mental preparation is playing Quail Hollow.
Well done today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks.
So the best positions that Roberto Castro has held throughout his PGA Tour career, he has been a co-leader back at the 2013 Quicken Loans, in which he ultimately finished in second place. So not too often he has found himself either as a co-leader or in second, trying to get that elusive first win on the PGA Tour. Next on Golf Central, here John Daly's thoughts as he has one round left in his first PGA Tour Champions event. Arya Jitanyagaran birdied more than half the holes she played on Saturday. Highlights from her incredible round that included, get this, a back nine 28 are on the way. And even with making the longest putt of his career on the PGA Tour, Rory McIlroy sliding the wrong direction on the leaderboard. More highlights ahead.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the Wells Fargo Championship. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. Shipsticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.